Welcome to Gone Outdoors. Kyle Agre and Scott Brewer of Brewer Agre Outdoors, talking hunting, talking fishing, and talking anything you can do outdoors for the next hour. Right here on KWSN 1230 AM, 98.1 FM, and Kello News Talk 1320 AM, 107.9 FM, both out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and the mighty 790 KFGO Fargo, 104.7 FM. This morning's Gone Outdoors is brought to you by Ray's Sport Marine, your local Lund Boats and Bennington Pontoon dealer in Moorhead. RaysMarineMoorhead.com. Adventure RV across from the Fairgrounds in West Fargo, your number one RV dealer in the FM area. AdventureRVSales.com. Are you fishing for a snack or gas in Lakes Country? Lakeland General Store is your one-stop shop in the Lakes area at the junction of Highways 59 and 34 in Dunvilla. Devil's Lake Tourism and Glacial Lake Snow Bear. Linex of Fargo, this is Linex Country, home of the adventurous. Onyx Fish Midwest, Eskimo Ice Fishing Gear, and Ion Electric Ice Augers and the Ion Alpha. And welcome to this morning's Gone Outdoors. It's so great having you here, and it's so great being able to sit down. And hey, we just had Thanksgiving. I hope all of you who are tuning in today, you had a great Thanksgiving holiday. You had a chance to eat a lot of good food, spend some time with some great people, friends and family alike, and just enjoy, have a sense of gratitude for all that we have and all that we've been given. I think most of us can look at ourselves and our situation and just really realize that we have a ton of things to be thankful for, both in our outdoor endeavors and in our other aspects of our life as well. Scott, how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was very, very good. We actually drove down to Shakopee for a couple of days, hung out with some extended family, hung out with a bunch of friends. It was a really good time, had some good food. But Kyle, when you talk about gratitude and you talk about Thanksgiving and food, my mind immediately, and I didn't even think about this before we started till you were talking, my mind immediately went to Jeff Benda and his weekly newsletter. Because he has a thing in there about gratitude every week, and it's all about food, So, I mean, if you think you could use a little kick in the gratitude department, you definitely need to read this. He is a very good author, and it's a short little thing you get to your email every week. Fishandgame.com, wildfishandgame.com, I think, is the website. You can sign up, get his newsletter. He always sends out a recipe or two each week. And it's an eye-opener every week when I read it. And I consider myself a positive person. But holy cow, that's still an eye-opener.
Yeah, and in this last week, I think all of us have this just chance to focus in on gratitude and Thanksgiving during the holiday here, and that's a good thing. We all need that. And you're right, Jeff does it 52 weeks a year. For me, it's a Tuesday morning, open my eyes, grab the cell phone. I know the email is going to be there. I go right to it, and the gratitude is the first thing I scroll to. I see the recipe that's on the front of it. I scroll down to the gratitude, see what's going on. I just appreciate his perspective on everything. And I think it's no surprise you and I are both men that have our faith as a big part of who we are. And a few years back, as I was sitting in church, one of our pastors was preaching and talking a lot about gratitude and Thanksgiving. And it kind of made it a practice for me to if at least on a weekly basis, to just sit down and think about what I have to be thankful for. And having that email with Jeff, it's a reminder almost to do that often. And I don't think we all do that as much as we should. And I find myself being grounded a little more when I do that. I find myself recognizing that there's a whole lot of things that I have that I probably haven't done anything to deserve. And I'm pretty fortunate to have them. And I need to be able to share that with those people around me, share it with our listeners, share it with each other, with our families. I think it's an important part of what we have to do.
Yeah, gratitude is definitely a state of mind. And If you wake up every morning happy that you woke up and happy that you can continue another day on this great earth, that's a great start.
Absolutely. And one of the things I'm thankful for right now, in addition to a lot of what we talked about, were all the listeners from Gone Outdoors that stopped by and said hi last weekend at Shields Ice Fest here in Fargo. We had a great time, 2 days. And you know what? I look at, and I know the Shields associates, they work their tail off helping people and getting this auger or this shelter and getting them loaded up and checked out for people who wanted to buy it. And a lot of the vendor industry experts were there, and people were throwing questions at them and asking them for specs and this, that, and the other thing. Well, you and I, we had a great gig.
We had the easy part.
We got
sure.
to just sit back and talk ice fishing with so many people, and so many of them said, we listen to your radio show and we love it. And thank you for letting us know that positive feedback is something we really are grateful for.
Yeah, and that show for me, just getting a chance to talk with, and a lot of those industry experts at this point, after doing this for a number of years, we know them when we can call them friends. But I really enjoy discussing things with them. You know, we talk electronics, both personally and just on air when we were chatting. We talked about fish houses. We talked about ice augers, suits. We talked a lot about suits.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, if you're an ice angler, I'd be really curious to know how many of you don't have a float suit at this point, because they've been out for 10 years, 12 years, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And every brand has them. They're extremely comfortable. Why somebody would not have one? Because just having that safety, it's unbelievable.
Well, and if you are shopping for a holiday gift, let's make that segue an unpaid ad here, Scott. If you're shopping for a loved one who loves to ice fish and they don't have a float suit, hey, your shopping just got a whole lot easier, because that's definitely something to consider.
And I don't care what brand you buy. I don't care where you buy it at. Just go out and get them a float suit, because you'll feel a lot better when they're out on the ice every time.
Absolutely. Ice safety was a big theme. We talked about ice safety a lot. I had a chance to speak with Clayton Schick. He's a YouTuber, and he does an awful lot of ice fishing. He said something, and at first it kind of contradicted what you and I said, but I think it's just a little different way of saying it. We've often said there's no safe ice, and he sort of said, I don't believe that. Safe ice is safe, but you don't know it's safe until you test it. And you got to test it every single step.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So he said, don't trust ice until you know it's safe. And I think there's a lot to be said with that. And a lot of, we just want all of you to be safe if you're venturing out on the ice as these lakes start to get ice covered, and check your own ice, have a safety plan, have your safety gear, and make sure that you're going to do it in a way that's successful and allows you to go back out on the ice a whole lot more times this season.
And that's something you just said. It's something I was going to say that we haven't talked about on Gone Outdoors yet. And it's super important. Check your own ice every time.
We definitely want to make sure you do that. Don't take anybody else's word for it. But there are a few guys we're going to take their word on it. And that's some experts we have on today's show. Sam Summerness is going to talk about selecting an ice rod. He is an ice rod expert. We're going to talk to John Lehman. There's still a few ducks and geese around, believe it or not, and he's going to tell us how we might target some of these late season waterfowl. Thane Jensen, Minnesota Tournament Trail. We're going to jump ahead to next year's open water season. A lot of tournament anglers are making plans now, and he's going to talk about some changes to the MTT for 2026. Folks, we got to take a quick break right now, but we'll be back with more Gone Outdoors.
Looking for somewhere to get all your fishing information in one place? onX Fish Midwest has something for you. Search for new fishing areas with filtering features such as species, abundance, trophy potential, lake survey info, regulations, and area insights are just a click away.
Getting to your target lake has never been easier with access points and public land ownership clearly marked on onX Fish. Mark and customize waypoints and weather for your exact location. Use code BA Outdoors to get 20% off onX Fish Midwest at onxmaps.com.